What's up, everyone? Welcome to our lecture on slash chords, otherwise known as inversions. But people call them slash chords. That's one of the names. The other name is triads over bass notes. That's the thing I always like to refer to them as. But most people call them slash chords, though. I've talked about them on my channel, but I want to talk about songs that use them, how to use them in your own writing, because they're in so many different songs. And they're used in a couple different ways. Before we start, you can see the discount code right up here. 50% off the Beato book Instagram/YouTube bundle. It's over 600 pages. The discount code is RB403. I'm calling this an April Fool's sale. I made an April Fool's video last year, but I didn't do one this year. I didn't think it was appropriate. And then 30% off the Beato ear training course. If you go to Beato ear training course, you can check out the main video there. And discount code is the same, 30% off that. We just added a new chapter in it, so there's 11. And we're updating it all the time. Okay, triads over bass notes. Let's talk about some songs that use triads over bass notes. I'll give you an example. You could say that that's an old song from the 70s called Hitch a Ride by Boston. That's really an A5 chord, but this right there is a really G over A to a D over A. That's a triad over bass note there. Okay, I'm gonna show so you can see it on the guitar here. So I'm playing. You could call that a triad over bass note. You could play something like there are places I remember. There's a triad over bass note there. This is G, or this is A over G. So what does that mean? A over G, right? Or if you do, I can't say the name of the song. As you know, that's a Bon Scott song. But if I say the name, they'll get me for it. So triads over bass notes. So let's say that you have this. I played that in that Beatles song, In My Life. I played A over G. That means A, there's your slash, G. That's where the slash chord comes from. That means an A major triad. So A major, wait, look, can't spell here today. A major. This line means over. Okay, that's why we say A over G. G is in the bass. That's your bass note. That's why it's called a triads over bass notes. That's why they say that, this A over G or slash chord. But a lot of people just call them slash chords, okay? So that was in My Life. I did on the AC/DC, it's A da 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 da. Okay, this chord here, very common. This is D major over F sharp. So it's a D major triad, right? Triad, bass note. All right? Well, this is really just an inversion, okay? If you look up here in the chart, a C major chord. If it's in root position, meaning the root is in the bass, it's just called a root position triad. But if the E is in the bass, meaning the lowest note of the chord, that would be C over E, right? That's your bass note, that's your bass note. This is a first inversion chord. So these are your inversions. Inversions, right? C over E, C over G, okay? So, what do those sound like? Well, I'll show you. And how to use them. Typically, triads over bass notes you use to make your bass lines more interesting and have a better voice leading, okay? So you got C major. This would be C over E, could be this. right? Or, so I've got E in the bass. Then C over G would be this. You ever play that chord, that C chord like that? That's really C over G. A lot of people learn that. Like I kind of learned that as my C major chord. I played C like that, but that's really C over G in the bass. That's actually a second inversion C chord. So when you play a song like this, so I played A minor, C over E to F major, for example. Or if I played, okay, so this chord, A minor, right here is really, it's really like a C over G right there, because he plays, and there's your D over F sharp, and then D7 over F sharp. So that's Led Zeppelin, right? Inverted chord. Then those are great. If you know this song by The Church, that's Under the Milky Way, okay? So that's A minor and then D7 over F sharp. So you can have seventh chords. You can have seventh chords. You can have seventh chords over bass notes too. So that would be really D9 over F sharp. Okay, it's a beautiful voicing. Even songs like this, you can have sus chords over bass notes, like Champagne Supernova. A sus2, da, 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 na, 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 na. Champagne Supernova. A sus2 over G, A sus2 over F sharp, or you can say this is F sharp minor 11, and then really A sus over E. That's pretty much that whole song, right? Another one, Angie, right? My favorite song by the Rolling Stones. Then that's E major over G, E7 over G sharp. Then F sus, then you have G over B right there. I mean, really, that's in a million songs, right? When you hear, right? That's an inverted chord right there. That is G over B in the bass, okay? So these are these different inverted chords. They're also, triads over bass notes could also be used with spread triads, right? We talked about this last week. If I can play A minor, that would be A minor over C. That's A minor over E. A minor over C. A minor over E. Okay, so those are... those are hard to play on this guitar. 13s. So if I play... This would be D over F sharp played in a different way. So I've got A minor, D over F sharp, and and that would be like a could be E7 over E7 over G sharp. Okay, so triads like this, voicing. Anytime you see that voicing like that, E over G sharp. I don't know if you guys know, there's a great Counting Crows song, Good Night Elizabeth. It's off Recovering the Satellites. It's very worthy of a What Makes This Song Great. I'll give you another example of triads over bass notes. If you take the bridge of Something by the Beatles, so it's A major over G sharp, A major over F sharp, A major over E. I don't know. It actually it goes right chromatically like that. So, I mean, it's in every era, every genre, you have triads over bass notes or slash chords. It's just, what it does is it helps your voice leading. It makes your voice leading more interesting. So if I'm going from A to F sharp, right? But A, E, F sharp minor, let's say. A, E, F sharp minor, right? A, E over G sharp, F sharp minor. That's better voice leading than. It's not better, it's just more interesting. I can't talk about Randy Rhoads, Robert, because I can't play anything by that guy who I won't say the band he was in. Okay, otherwise they block videos. I don't talk about him, unfortunately. It really it really stinks that I can't talk about. You know, people ask me about bands that I don't talk about. There's one where a singer's name is Axl, and I can't talk about any of their songs. So these triads over bass notes are really important. Well, you can also get more complex triads over bass notes, right? For that are in other types of music. So let's say I go. This would be a E over G. That would be a G13 flat 9 sound. And you guys hear me play these triads over bass notes a lot. Beach Boys, somebody just put that. They use slash chords. I mean, every great artist uses slash chords. But the more complex slash chords, if you guys hear me play stuff like this. Okay, something like that. That would be a run in slash chords. A over G sharp, B over G, C over F sharp, D over B flat, E flat over D, F over D flat, G flat over C or F sharp over C, E over C, E chordal over, or I'm sorry, E flat chordal over F, or F minor 7 sharp 5. Okay, so that would be a run in slash chords. Well, what are all those slash chords mean? What are some of these other slash chords, like in the bridge of Something? Let's talk about that, because that was a really interesting one. A over G sharp. I played it in the Counting Crows song. I played it in the Beatles song. So A over G sharp, right? A over G sharp. It's not that uncommon. It's actually pretty common. Okay, so you have an A major triad. Let's actually talk about what an A major triad is. A major triad is A, C sharp, E over a G sharp bass. Now, if I take this and I put it here, well, you could just say, well, that's just an A major 7 chord. A major 7, right? 1, 3, 5, 7. So this is really a third inversion, meaning you talk about inversions. A 3-note chord has 2 inversions, right? It has root position, first inversion, second inversion. A 3-note chord has 3 inversions. First inversion, second inversion, third inversion. Now all this stuff is in my Beato book. If you really want to learn these things and know the theory behind all this, I'm going to talk about it here, but to get in depth with it, discount code RB403, 50% off my bundle, 600 pages, and then the ear training course. And in the ear training course, we go over inversions by ear. Okay, so when you hear a triad over bass note, you need to be able to recognize what it is. Oh, that's a first inversion chord. Oh, that's a second inversion chord. And it's tricky when you start getting into diminished chords, things like that. That's where it starts to become confusing to the ear. I think well, you know, you have to practice these things. It's like anything. All of these things are tricky when you first do them. But the triads over bass notes are here to make your bass motion smooth, okay? What do I mean by that? Well, if I have A and then A over G sharp to F sharp minor, right? F sharp minor, I won't use minus, F sharp minor. I could, or I'm sorry, E over G we use. That's the example I use. E over G sharp to F sharp minor. The progression could have been A, E, F sharp minor, like that. Well, this is the motion here, right, is going down a fourth and then up a step. That's if, or we could go up a fifth and then up a step. That's probably not, well, you could, but go down a fourth. This is going down a perfect fourth. And this is going up a major second, your bass line. Now, if I do this thing, if I use this inversion, I'm really going down a half step. So you're going down a minor second, and then you're going down a major second. Both going downwards, right? Down, down. It's a smoother bass line. And what you find is that really good bass players will do that anyways. This is the key to playing great bass lines. Geddy Lee, any of you Rush fans out there? If you're a Rush fan, you know about chord inversions, right? Why can't I think of Limelight right now? It just went out of my head. Limelight uses inversions all over the place. It's actually kind of tricky to play too. So Rush uses inversions all the time. So here's your bass line. So if I'm going, and I'm the bass player, I might go. So that G sharp over the E chord gives me that sound. E over G sharp, right? So, versus, it's different. It's when you hear it with an actual bass playing down the octave from the guitar, it just sounds smoother. And then there's a lot of songs that will use inversions that just keep going, right? So I did A, E over G sharp, F sharp minor, E, D, A over C sharp, B minor over A. When I did my last video, I don't know how many of you saw about my video on the America song, which was the first song I ever learned. This song, Never Found the Time, which is a really, really killer song. Somebody said Stuck in the Moment by U2. U2 uses inverted chords all over the place. Edge does. Satisfaction. I mean, it's everything. I mean, it's all over the place. Okay, so what was I just talking about? Dave Matthews and Crash. Tons of triads over bass notes in that. Tons of them. So when you start, so when I'm playing this progression, A, E over G sharp, right? triad over bass note, F sharp minor, E, D, A over C sharp to B minor, D, A over C sharp, B minor. I could have gone D, A, B minor. It doesn't sound as good as that. To me just sounds better. But when I was talking about this song, Never Found the Time from America that I did. If you haven't watched my video, you should watch a video of the first song I ever learned, because it has some inverted chords. Like it goes to B minor over A, right? To A minor, which is, and then to E minor. I just love that. It's an incredibly good thing, good chord progression. Somebody said whiter shade of pale. Tons of inversions in there. Okay, so when you get into some more, if you're improvising over it, right, you're still playing the same things. If I have A major, and then I have E over G sharp, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You're still going to be playing A. While my guitar gently weeps, absolutely. Yeah, that's all inversions, triads over bass notes. It's all slash chords. But I want to talk about some of the more complex ones. Let's talk about, discount. Let me show you this here. Discount code RB403. This is my April Fool's sale here. 50% off my bundle, 600 pages. The Beato book and my YouTube, Instagram transcription bundle. The Beato book's 468 pages. And the YouTube transcription bundle is like 140 something pages. It's all together, one PDF. Or my ear training course, 30% off. I only offer these on the live stream for today and then through tomorrow. And then, anyways, let's talk about some of the other triads over bass notes that are a little bit more uncommon too, because I think that it's important to know some of these, even though they're primarily used in jazz. Although I'll give you an example. D over B flat. You'll say, well, what is that? Well, that's, if this is a D major chord, right? So you get D, F sharp, A over B flat. Now, this, if I write the notes out this way, B flat, D, F sharp, A, I'm going to give you a little trivia here, okay? This is a B flat augmented chord. B flat plus means augmented. B flat augmented is the only triad that has a sharp and a flat in it, okay? Think about this. B flat major is B flat D F. B flat augmented is B flat D F sharp. It's the only triad that's the only triad that exists. Major, minor, diminished, augmented, only triad that has a sharp and a flat in it. Okay? This is a little trivia. If I were to say that, that's something you can talk to your friends about as a little trick question. Say, name me the one triad that has both a flat and a sharp in it. I usually say sharp then flat because then it'll screw them up. They won't think that. But if they think about this, they'll say B flat augmented. Okay, so this would be a B flat augmented major 7. 1, 3, sharp 5, major 7, okay? And that particular chord kind of is in Dear Prudence. It's not exactly... It's really that, but it's implying that. So that would be That's a Lydian augmented scale. I love that sound. That is just a great, great, great sound. The Beatles were so hip. Man, they used to, Lennon, he was the man. Wrote all these triads over bass notes. Anyways, so there's a lot of different ones too that come from different scales. So that comes from the Lydian augmented scale. You could have, I said E over G. That would be like a G13 flat 9 sound. So you get G, assuming that if you're playing the scale over it, you get G and F is a flat 7, but you have E, G sharp, B. E would be the 13, G sharp would be the really A flat, that's your flat 9, and then the B would be your third, right? 13 flat 9 third. So these are some more of the unusual ones that you use mainly in jazz and in modern classical music, film composing, stuff like that. And why did the Beatles use these things? I'll tell you why, because they got sick of using the same thing over and over, which is what I don't understand about contemporary music, a lot of contemporary music that just use the same chord progressions over and over. Don't people want to do things that haven't been done before? I mean, that always blows my mind. It really does. It blows my mind. People aren't saying, man, I want to just come up with something that nobody has done before. And you say, oh, everything's been done. Everything's not been done. It really hasn't. At least not in popular music. If you can come up with something that has a fresh chord progression, maybe some odd triads over bass notes, and get a really great melody, then and have a hit song with it, that would be unbelievable. And I think you could. I think you can. It's just people don't experiment enough. That's really what it is. Okay, so I've got 945 people on here. I want to talk a little bit about what's been happening here I had a friend of mine pass away this week, Adam Schlesinger. He wasn't a close friend. I played with him 25 years ago, in a band called Ivy for just 6 weeks or so. I rehearsed with them, never played any gigs, but him and Andy Chase and Dominique, who was the lead singer, they were an amazing band. And he was in Fountains of Wayne, and he wrote the song "That Thing You Do" for the movie, and he passed away this 2 days ago. Incredibly sad. Ellis Marcellus, Wallace Rooney, a lot of musicians have gotten sick. And it's crushing. It really is. You have to stay safe out there. Stay in. If they tell you to stay in, even if they don't tell you to stay in, stay in. Okay? That's that. What's easier than that? This is your this is your chance to do this. I'm trying to go on. This will eventually pass. It will pass. The 1918 pandemic was over in the summer of 1919. My dad was born in the middle of it in February of 1919. And my dad lived 85 years and never experienced a pandemic in his whole life. Hey, Peter Smart, my good friend. All you need to do is stay in and practice your instrument. Okay, this is your one excuse. Please do that. If you go out and you have a mask, wear a mask. There's no harm in being, extra safe. If you have gloves, wear gloves. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Hey, Larry, good to see you. So that's what I'm going to say about this. Ellis Marcellus passed away. He was 85 years old. He lived a full life. I mean, 85, that's what my dad, my dad lived to be 85. There's no rhyme or reason who is taken away at this point. The only thing that I want to tell you is don't get despondent. It will eventually pass. It will eventually pass. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. You've been practicing every instrument you play plus theory for over 2 weeks. This is the time to sit home, work on your ear training, the things that you really don't have time to do. When you were saying, oh man, I wish I had time for this, I'm practicing now. I mean, I pretty much am doing the same thing I always do. I'm actually spending more time with my kids. I'm playing basketball in my driveway with Dylan every day. I'm playing with the girls. Well, I'm going to go watch Mako Mermaids with them here because that's my favorite show that my girls like to watch, that I'll sit there and I'll sit with them and watch it. I know, and live music will come back. It will. I promise. It will come back. Discount code for those of you that want to, learn more about this stuff. RB403, 50% off, 30% off the ear training course, Beato Ear Training course. Just go to beatoeartraining.com. You can find all of that on my website, or just click in the description below. In the description, I have the discount code and everything is in there. Please, everyone, stay safe. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you being here all the time, and never take it for granted. So there you go. There you go. Be safe. Stay in if at all possible. If you go out and you have a mask, wear a mask. Just why not? Do it. Just do it. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.